We have 7,661 criminal cases only about war crimes, and more than 3,000 cases which are connected with war crimes. The place after occupation, what we see after occupation actually in Bucha, in Vorodyanka, in Vorzel, in Hostomel, in Irpin. We see facts of torture. When we opened the mass graves with civilians, they were shot. Their arms were tied back their bodies. We see the facts they actually were, some of them were shot, some of them were tortured and shot. We have facts of sexual crimes against civilians, not only against women and even against men, children and old women. If we speak about departure of civilians, we have several cases about departure of civilians. For us it's very important because, for example, departure of children, it is part of qualification of genocide. Deportation, and of course we now have the number of people which we can understand exactly that they were deported. We can find it by investigations mechanism. It's more than 5,000 people, people who were deported into Russian Federation, 200 were deported to Belarus. Our goal is to collect evidences because we understand that we will have very long and investigation process and criminal process.
Ukrainian President Zelensky has spoken of a genocide. Would you say that these acts qualify for such a definition?
We started the case of genocide from the first days of War II. Now we have suspicions to some people who calls for genocide from Russian Federation. We started to prosecute them in absentia, of course we will do it. But again, we have several approaches what we want to have in the end of our job. Our goal, of course, that all people who are responsible for aggression crime, for war crimes, for crimes against humanity, and maybe if we will be ready to speak about genocide, they should be in the court. We have possibilities of our national jurisdiction. We have possibilities of the jurisdictions of the 13 countries which started their own investigations. We have possibilities of our joint investigation team on the platform of the Eurojust, and we do it very properly. 25th of March we signed with the General Prosecutor of Lithuania and General Prosecutor, and he is the Minister of Justice of Poland, this joint investigation team. We work on the platform of Eurojust. It means that all system of European Union can support us. And other possibility, it is actually the International Criminal Court. I hope that actually this big fish will be in ICC. We have our, I want just to show you, we have our anchor case. This is a website of our office. You see the number of suspects, near 600. It's not in all cases. It's only about this anchor case, about our main case. And we even to give these possibilities to look. Who are they, these main criminals? Ministry of Defense Shoigu, Interior Ministry Kolokoltsev, high level of deputies, high level of militaries and so on. All of them are in Russian Federation. For us, very important to have judgments, or to have verdicts. And after that, if it will be verdicts in Ukrainian court, it is very good because we need have court decisions named by Ukraine. I'm proud of my country. I want that we will have such decisions. But for most important to have such decisions in ICC, because more than 100 countries, if to be concrete, 124, signed the Rome Statute. It means that all war criminals will be arrested on the border. And for them, Russian Federation will be like a big prison. They will be on their territory, maybe in safety, but they will not be free to go to the civilized world. You remember what was in Chechnya? You remember what was in Syria, in Georgia, and people who are responsible for all these wars weren't punished at all. That's why I think now it's time to punish them. At first, we should stop the war. When the war still is going on, and it means that we can't go to the territories, we can't have access to the victims, to the witnesses. It's a question how effectively we can do our job. All territories, we work without territory, without people. It's very difficult, actually.
You mentioned earlier all these people, these individuals that could or should be prosecuted in Russia. Can the Russian president be prosecuted?
I think that he is the main person who is responsible for the war in Ukraine. We, as the Ukrainian prosecutors, will do everything to collect all this evidence and to help for this justice. Even if we take this small example about that brigade which was in Bucha. That brigade which was in Bucha, they tortured people, they killed civilians. Then after the occupation, President Putin honored them. It means that he is not only knew about this, not only ordered them to do it. It means that he honored his soldiers for all this. I think it's a great evidence for all of us.